their website, SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center. It's entitled Black Nationalists. Now check this out. When you scroll down, right, it says 2017 Black Nationalist Hate Groups. And then keep scrolling down, right? They even have bookstores. The proprietors of that bookstore, I guess they're looked at as being a nationalist, right? Hate group. Now, keep in mind, 2017 Black Nationalist Hate Groups, right? Now look at this. They got all the different chapters of Great Millstone. They got them on the list. So if you brothers think you're not being watched, think again. It is right here. Great Millstone, Atlanta, Georgia. Great Millstone, Baltimore, Maryland. Great Millstone, Birmingham, Alabama. Great Millstone, Charlotte, North Carolina. Great Millstone, Chicago, Illinois. Great Millstone, Cleveland, Ohio. Great Millstone, Dallas, Texas. Great Millstone, Des Moines, Iowa. Great Millstone, Detroit, Michigan. Great Millstone, Houston, Texas. Great Millstone, Las Vegas, Nevada. Great Millstone, Los Angeles, California. Great Millstone, Memphis, Tennessee. You thought you weren't being watched, right? And another thing too that you brothers got to realize, you got spies among you that are reporting back to groups like that. You know, how do we know this? Because it's in the book of Galatians. In the book of Galatians, let's deviate for a minute. It speaks about individuals that came to spy out our liberty. It was that way back then, and it's that way now. That's the way you got to think. Spy out our liberty. That's why you have to be circumspect. You have to be smart. Okay, you have to be cunning. You have to be like a serpent in righteousness. You have to watch what you say and who you say to. The book of Galatians, the 2nd chapter, beginning at the 4th verse, and that because of false brethren unawares brought in. It's the same thing we have today. You better believe we have false brethren out there that were brought in, you know, spiritually and physically. And that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privately to spy out our liberty. I remember when we had the school in Bridgeport, we had this one guy came in, and he was a straight-up cop, and we didn't know it until the Spirit revealed it. It was Apostle Ramlab who smoked him out. All right, he got kicked out. You know, to make a long story short, the guy was a straight-up cop. He was a straight-up cop for the Bridgeport Police Department. Anyway, and that because of false brethren unawares brought in, who came in privately to spy out our liberty, which we have in Yahushua, that they might bring us into bondage. That they might bring us into bondage. What do you think that means? Back then, bring the men of the Lord, bring them back under the iron hand of the Roman Empire, at least spiritually. Try to bring them back under the torture and the oppressive techniques of the Roman Empire. Right? Because remember, we were slaves underneath the Roman Empire at that time. So that's what it means, that they might bring us back into bondage. And that's the same thing they're trying to do now. You know, you got certain guys set up out there, like Vocab Malone, trying to demonize this truth in an attempt to try to bring us back into bondage, the bondage of believing the crap of the so-called white man, that we're not the chosen people, that we're just Negroes that came from Africa that was swinging on trees, that we're not a special people. You know, we're not the Lord's chosen people. We're just a bunch of niggas or spics or wetbacks. You know, that's an example of trying to bring us back into bondage. That's one of the reasons why Vocab Malone and Dr. James White was set up. And the same thing with this Southern Poverty Law Center. That's why they're set up, to try to bring us back into bondage. And as you can see, they have us in the scope. They have us on their scope. They have all the camps, brothers. It's right here. And like I said, I found that by the Holy Spirit led me to find this. They have all the camps, man. Great Millstone, Miami, Florida. Great Millstone, Memphis, Tennessee. Great Millstone, San Antonio, Texas. Great Millstone, Statewide, Mississippi. Great Millstone, Nebraska. Great Millstone, Wisconsin. Great Millstone, Tampa, Florida. Great Millstone, New York, New York. You got the main camp, okay? Then it goes into the House of David camp, located in Brooklyn, House of Israel. Then they even have the IUIC, Atlanta, Georgia. IUIC, Austin, Texas, the different branches of the IUIC. So here it is, you have certain groups that have sold out in an attempt to get on Esau's good side, and they still have you listed as a black nationalist hate group. Yeah, the so-called white man is going to be the devil to the end, man. See, we're a black nationalist hate group because we teach that the chosen people of the Lord are the so-called Negroes all the way down to the so-called Mexicans, and that the so-called white man, who's known as Esau, Edom in the Bible, will be put in slavery. So because of that, we're a black nationalist hate group. Meanwhile, the so-called white man is the real man of hate. He hates everything. He hates everybody. He's destroying the earth because basically he hates the earth. He wants to destroy 6.5 billion people pursuant to the Georgia Guidestones because basically he hates people. He hates the earth. He hates people. He hates the animals. But we're the hate group. Amazing. Real man of hate, beginning with Cain, going back to Cain, who hated his brother Abel, and that's why he killed him. But we're a hate group. Well, what do you expect from the devil? What do you expect? But there it is, brothers. That's why we have to be circumspect. That's why we're living in a time now where you can't be stupid. You have to watch what you say, how you say it, and you have to be circumspect. Because our enemies, man, they're out there, and they're trying to come up with crafty ways to try to, which they you know, as the scripture has said, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.